Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jay from Sony Alpha Lab, and in this comparison style review, I'm going to go over the new Sony E 70-350mm G OSS lens. I'm going to compare it to the E 55-210mm OSS lens. Now, they're drastically different lenses, but they both serve basically the same purpose. They're telephoto zoom lenses for the crop factor E-mount cameras like the Sony A6400, 6500, 6600, and so forth. So I'm just going to go over the key differences between these two lenses, and then I'm going to compare some photos so you can see the difference in quality that you get in the real world and also in the lab. And speaking of the lab, here's 55 versus 70mm. And here's 210 versus 350mm. Alright, so the first key difference is going to be the cost. This lens here, the 55-210, goes for $350 US, while the 70-350mm lens goes for about $1,000. So $350 versus $1,000. Pretty big difference. Now, of course, then you have size. Now you can see the size is quite a bit, and with the size comes weight. So you're looking at about 12.2 ounces or 345 grams versus 22.1 ounces or 625 grams. So basically, the 70-350 is approximately double the weight of the 55-210. It's also significantly larger, so the filter thread on the front, we're looking at 49mm on the 55-210 lens, and you're looking at 67mm for the 70-350mm lens. So that's the filter thread on the front. If you're going to put ND filters, polarizers, things like that, so it's going to cost a little more to get filters for the larger lens. Now, both lenses have a 7-blade aperture diaphragm. The 70-350mm lens has 19 elements in 13 groups, consisting of one aspherical element and 3 extra low dispersion elements, which will ensure higher optical quality at all focal ranges. The 55-210, however, has 13 elements in 9 groups, and it only has 2 extra low dispersion elements and 2 spherical elements. So the optics internally are significantly different overall, and at the end of the day, the 70-350mm lens, the new lens with the G badge here, does have an edge when it comes to contrast and overall sharpness. It definitely has a better look to the images. The 55-210 lens does do a really good job in the real world though, as well. As you can see here, it just doesn't have that same punch. Now, the G lens here has weather sealing, so this is a much more weather sealed body. You'd be better off using this outdoors in the elements as opposed to the 55-210, which doesn't really have any weather sealing built into it. I mean, it's still a well-made lens, but it's not the same as one with weather sealing. Also, the G lens has manual controls on the side. It has a customizable focus hold button here. It has an autofocus manual focus switch here, so you can just toggle that on and off nice and easily. It also has the optical stabilization switch, so you can turn that on and off easily. And the zoom ring is on the top on this lens, and the focus ring is a linear design. It's actually closer to the camera when it comes to focusing, so you will get some nice feedback on the manual focus ring. The zoom is actually on the bottom, and the focus ring is on the top, so they just reversed the positions. Not really the biggest deal. They both work great though at the end of the day, but I do notice that the manual focus is a little bit easier to use on the 70-350mm lens. The 70-350 also has a lock switch here, so the lens won't open when you have it locked. So that's a nice feature. Over time, this might loosen up, and that'll make it so the lens doesn't creep when you have it locked. It won't open up by mistake if you're like holding the camera and walking or something. Right now, out of the box, the lens does not have any creep whatsoever though. And neither does the 55-210, by the way. This lens doesn't creep either. By creeping, what I mean is this will automatically go down just from gravity. And if you're holding it upside down, it'll automatically open. Some lenses do that, and it's called lens creep. Now, both lenses have optical stabilization, and it works really well, so that's going to help you get really nice, sharp, handheld shots. Alright guys, so in the real world, which lens is right for you? And that's the point I'm trying to get across in this video by pointing out the differences between these lenses. $350 versus $1,000. Okay, the price is significant. Do you really need the $1,000 lens? Well, you get that extra zoom with this lens. You get the better build quality with this lens. You get the manual buttons on this lens. Do you need those things? Do you need the extra build quality? Do you need the weather sealing? Do you need the extra zoom range? 525mm maximum effective zoom versus 315mm max effective zoom. So with this better build quality and extra zoom comes that extra weight. I mean, this lens weighs a lot more. It's almost double the weight of the 55-210. Image quality wise, they both produce really good images. The newer G lens definitely has an advantage in image quality department. It has a little bit better contrast, a little bit better sharpness, but the 55-210 is also a very good lens. I mean, I took a lot of pictures with this lens over the years. I own this lens. I purchased this lens. I love this lens. And for somebody like me, you know, just out and about with the family, trying to get pictures here and there of different things, like on vacation and stuff, this is a great option. It's extremely lightweight, so it's not a burden to carry at all. And the image quality that comes off it is very good. You know, so I'm not complaining. Like, I'm not, like, when I take this out, I'm not disappointed. Like, oh, it would be good if I had a better lens. Like, I don't really get that impression when I use this lens. It's a really high quality lens, and it produces great results at the end of the day, especially for the money, $350. So if you're on a budget or you just want a lighter weight lens, this is a very, very good option. Now, if you're looking for a sports lens and you need more zoom, then this lens is definitely a better option. You're trying to track birds, you know, athletes running towards you. You're going to be way better off with this lens because it has the XD autofocus motor, which is capable of keeping up with those high-speed moving subjects when matched with a good camera that has the advanced autofocus system like the A6400, the A6600, the A6500, for example. When this lens originally came out, I had it with my Nex 6. I was using my Sony Nex 6 with this lens, and that autofocus system is way slower than the newer focus systems on the newer cameras, so it was more than good enough for that system. But nowadays technology has advanced, and now in order to keep up with the high-speed autofocus, you really do need a high-speed autofocus motor inside the lens. Both autofocus motors are very quiet, however, so for video they both do a great job as far as noise goes. When you're recording, you don't really hear the autofocus when you're recording video, like on the camera itself. You don't hear that noise. So that is pretty much it for this comparison review, guys. I really hope you got what you were looking for. And again, if you have any questions or comments, let me know below the video. Please let me know what you think of these lenses. Which one do you have? Which one would you rather have? Is this on your wish list, the new 70-350? Is it like a must-have lens in your opinion? I'd go with the 55-210 in most cases based on what I do. All right, I really hope you got what you were looking for in this video. And please hit that subscribe button below the video if you want to see more videos like this. And if you thought this video was good, please give it a thumbs up. It'll let other people know, hey, this is a good video. I was wondering about those two lenses, and this answered all my questions. I appreciate it. I really hope you have a good day. I will catch up with you next time. Take care.